a Cameroonian favorite, Poisson Braisé with plantains and sauce. Stay tuned.
This is the best.
Hey successful, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making Poisson Braisé avec le plantain frit et le piment à côté. And that is to say, grilled fish with fried plantains with pepper sauce. This is a Cameroonian dish. I've never done a cooking video on my channel before, so I'm actually very excited. I'm actually doing this for a church event that I have tomorrow. I got a bunch of fish. I'm gonna be making, I think it's like 9 of them. So this is gonna go back into the freezer. But just to show you guys, this is how it came. And then I also got a bunch of plantain from La Michoacana. And then in here are the fish. So the first step is, of course, cleaning out your sink. And I am gonna go ahead and add these fish into like really hot water so that they can thaw out.
Adding some salt to the water, this is gonna help it to gain some flavor as it's thawing out. Don't be shy, this is not gonna stick to the fish because we're all gonna rinse it out after.
This is going to be the ingredients that I kind of blend together as a base for what I'm going to bake, like the sauce I'm going to bake with the fish. So this side right here is for the fish. Oop. And then this side right here is going to be for our little piment sauce, which is just like a pepper sauce. It's not going to be that spicy because I want it to be friendly since I'm going to go to church with it. So I only have one habanero pepper in it. So I have 2.5 onions. These onions is what I'm going to use to just kind of top the fish with so it looks really cute. Then I have some ginger here for our piment. I have 2 tomatoes for the piment here. And then, so this is like a pepper sauce. And then of course I have some garlic. My grandma is an OG. She always like cuts up garlic for us so we don't have to worry about like peeling it, which is the best. And she puts it in the freezer. So I have that. And then here we have some leeks. So I have just like one thing of leeks. I cut it in half and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use the whole thing because I have a lot of fish that I'm making. And then just one little stick of celery there, already washed them and everything. And then I have 3 large onions. These are 2 red onions and this is a regular onion. Honestly, the red onions are a bit sweeter, but it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm gonna mix it. This is what we have. And then I have more ginger over here as well, and I'm also going to be adding some garlic on the sauce for the fish as well.
Okay, I'm just cutting those items into the blender. So first I am making the fish sauce. This is really what I'm gonna use to dip the fish in before I put it in the oven so it's all coated up and ready to cook all together. So we're just blending that.
I'm gonna go ahead and I like to add it in the blender just so everything can just blend really nicely. Love white pepper on fish. We have a little bit more, so I'm probably gonna use the rest of this. It's a good way to add a little bit of spice without too much heat, because I do like to add Cameroonian pepper, but I won't be adding it because I do not want, you know, anybody to think it's too spicy, because this is for a group of people. And then this is not garlic, this is actually Cube Magique, so I'm gonna probably add a bunch of those in there, probably 5 or 6. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use some basil. This is a great way to get it all blended up so you don't see all the greens. Some black pepper and some parsley. So that's what I'm going to be using for our powder. And you know, I may add something else when I'm doing the fish when I taste it, but this is what I'm going to go ahead and blend it in so that we have a nice consistency with our sauce.
6 cube magic, 2 tablespoons of white pepper, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of each other thing. Honestly, I don't really measure, this just an approximate. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and clean out this fish since it's thawed out now. So you want to make sure to get all the scales off. So that's why I'm like scraping the bottom of the fish there. Sometimes they'll still have some of the scales on there, so you want to clean that out. And then of course you gotta clean out all the middle part. Right in the fish's head is like, I guess like the intestines. I don't know, their gills. I don't know what they call it. But you want to clean that out. It's gonna have like a little bit bloody. If you're not used to fish, it might be weird for you, but I literally grew up doing this, so it's totally normal. And then after you're done that, you want to clean out any of the insides, and then you want to make deep lines in the fish like I did there, just so that whenever you're seasoning it, it really gets in the fish, and when you're marinating it, you know, that fish really drinks up the flavor. And as you're going, just make sure that you're just cleaning out anything that you see that shouldn't be there, scraping out any of the black marks that fish have and stuff like that. But yeah, clean that out, and then we're ready to go ahead and season it for an overnight sitting. Alright, to add to the pan, I like to add some extra olive extra virgin olive oil to the bottom, just so that it doesn't stick or anything like that. So just spreading that throughout.
I went ahead and seasoned the fish. All you want to do is make sure that you're putting the sauce into all the, you know, lines that you made, all the crevices.
Yeah.
Yummy, huh?
No, fish.
Fish, yeah, it's fish. You want to say hi?
Hi, babe.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, too.
How you doing?
I'm eating cook so.
Hi, baby Zoe. Hi. I did leave a little bit in the blender because what I'm gonna do is just add some oil to this, and we're gonna be using this to kind of, you know, hydrate the fish tomorrow morning when we're actually baking it. So it is supposed to be a little oily, just to make it, you know, glistening and stuff whenever we grill it in the oven.
Okay.
So I am going to take this out, put it aside.
So now that the fish is seasoned, I'm gonna go ahead and add these onions that we set to the side on top of them. And then after that, I'm going to use that, the leftover sauce that we had that we blended. I added some oil to it and then just some salt and Maggi just to have a little bit more taste to it. And this is what we're going to use to kind of just brush on with the fish. So we're going to be using this tomorrow as we're baking as well. I did let this sit overnight because I wanted it freshly done for church in the morning. Alright, so we're on to our piment sauce. This is the sauce that we're going to use to kind of dip the fish into and the plantains into when we're eating it. So you guys already saw the ingredients for that earlier, just adding that in. I did add some rondelle, as you guys see here. I'm going to find what the name is and put it on the screen. But this is something that we use in Cameroon to season. I'm adding, as usual, some Maggi and then also some salt in there. So I'm going to add that to the mixture and blend it all together for our piment. Alright, so that is their blending, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to a pot to put it to cook. I put it to cook for around 30 or so minutes on medium to high heat. And make sure you leave the pot closed because it will boil and pop. So this is it after around 30 minutes. Looks really good. And I'm going to leave it to sit and then heat it up again tomorrow morning. Okay, it is the next morning. I woke up really early to start making these plantains, so you guys know how that goes. So here I am cutting the plantains, and I got plantains that were super ripe, but like not all the way black. So these just turned out so good. I love when plantains are this ripe. So of course, heat up your oil, medium high heat, and then when it's hot, you want to add in your plantains. Only thing here is I like to add the plantains in one by one so that they don't stick. It just makes it easier when it comes time to turn and just handle them, because I like it when plantains are separated in their own individual entities. I love plantains, you guys. So you make sure you do that and watch them and turn often because they will burn if you do not watch them. So while I was frying the plantain, of course, I put the piment back on the pot to heat it up a little bit. And I was thinking that I would need to add some like Maggi and salt just for a bit more flavor. But honestly, it was like really good. I didn't want to make it too spicy since it was for a group of people, so I kind of left the spice level at mild. But the color is so beautiful. I was just like loving it. It tasted really good. And I had a little bit of oil, just a good consistency to be able to have a good dip. So I was very happy with that. Can we just enjoy this consistency? Like the color is just so beautiful. So that's why I kept like doing this. I thought it was really beautiful.
Alright, now our plantains are done and they just look so scrumptious. I love getting plantains that are really ripe because it forms that little crisp around the edges. They're really soft but they're still crispy. These are gonna be delicious.
Okay, on to our fish. This is when I took it out that morning. Just be aware that I was doing all of these three things at the same time, but I can't like, show it like that. But yeah, I did put it in the oven, and of course I'm using that side sauce that I showed you guys from the day before with the oil and the sauce just to kind of like brush on top of our fish. So I would just check the oven periodically and then just keep brushing that sauce on. As far as the temperature, it was at 475 Fahrenheit. I did preheat the oven, but honestly, I just put the fish in while it's preheating. And yeah, I just do that because I don't want to wait. But you can wait if you want to. It doesn't really matter. And so I baked it for around an hour and 20 minutes. And then the last 20 minutes, I did a broil. And since I had 3 trays, I had to like switch on and off between which was on top, just so both of them were done properly. But definitely for the broil, you want to make sure that you switch it off because you really want to get that, you know, crispy top. And then as you guys can see that the water is like a bit more watery, but as you broil, it's gonna get thicker. Like see at the left here, it's like nice and thick and just juicy. I love nice juicy fish, you guys. This turned out really nicely. But yeah, you just want to keep baking it until you get that nice and done and crispier top. And of course the fish is cooked, but that's gonna happen with the hour and 20-minute bake, so that's not a problem. So you want to broil until you like the color, or you know, you like the look of it. And then if you found that you have too much water at the bottom, you can always just pour some of it out just so you have that nice and thick juicy fish stock, I guess, at the bottom. But yeah, this turned out delicious.
Here's our finished product. So this is after probably around an hour that I just left it and turned the oven off, and what I wanted happened. There's not as much liquid. It's nice and done at the top. It looks very beautiful. And here are the other ones. They look so gorgeous. I'm gonna wrap this up and go to church. How is it? You have to. You guys are missing. You have to. No, I want your honest opinion for real.
So,
how does it taste?
My honest opinion is the fish. I like my stuff well done.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
The sauce. Lovely.
Wow.
The plantain. Oh my god.
Have you even tried? You have to eat it together.
My best.
Oh really? Me too. I like really ripe plantain.
So this is the best. I'm probably the only person taking the best meal here.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Wow. Praise
You guys
God.
come join me.
Yes, enjoy. Thank you for your review.
Thank you.
Poisson dollar. What do you call it?
Have you tried it?
Poisson. What do you call it? What?
Poisson braisé.
Poisson braisé.
Poisson braisé.
Poisson braisé.
Oui.
Oui.
Avec le piment.
Avec le piment.
What?
They just told you. They just told you first.
You're really supposed to have it with some mayo, but I wasn't gonna do all that. Yeah, I didn't know if y'all know about the mayo, so I was like, let me show. You're supposed to eat the poisson with the piment with some mayo, and then with the plantain. But I was like, I don't know if you guys do mayo.
I'm feasting on poisson
Braisé.
braisé.
Do you like it?
Yeah. Delicious.
It's great, right?
Yeah. The fish is well grilled. The plantain is, you know, sumptuous.
Must you eat what must you eat what is good?
You guys should try this, you know?
Yes!
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Where?
I'm going for more.
Praise God. Okay, thanks guys.